Hello guys, welcome to my channel. The reason why I'm shooting this video is a question that I'm asked very frequently. And that is, Pranav, my practice growth has stagnated, kind of no growth. Should I start a second practice? That's what I'm going to answer in this video. We'll talk about when not to think of expansion, what to consider before practice expansion. We'll discuss everything point to point so that you have no confusion. So let's get into details. So first thing I want you to understand is that stagnated income is not always a sign to start a new practice. It should not bring you to a direct conclusion to open your second practice. The first thing that you must do is identify the potential reasons for stagnated growth. Although there can be several reasons for stagnation, there are 5 most prominent reasons that hold the growth. Now you may ask, Pranav, how to identify them? Alright, it's very simple. I'll frame those 5 questions around the 5 problems and you have to see if anything relates to your practice. Later in the video, I'll also share the solutions for the same. Alright, so let's identify the reasons for practice stagnation with the 5 questions. Number 1, is your growth on hold because you cannot accommodate more patients in your practice? Or second, is it because you have no time to treat patients? Or third, is it because the location of your existing clinic has limitations and cannot fetch you more patients? Or fourth, is it because your patients show resistance to charges and you are unable to revise it and hence the suffering? And the last, is the stagnation because you feel that there are too many dentists around you and you feel that you won't be able to capture a bigger market share? If you could correlate to any of these problems, that's great. It is important to understand the burning problems before you proceed further. Now let's discuss the solutions one by one. If stagnated growth is because you are working at the fullest capacity of your practice and cannot accommodate more patients, then this means you need to expand your existing practice. Yes, expand your existing practice so that you can accommodate new patients. It will always be better choice than starting a new practice. Second, if stagnated growth is because you are working at your fullest potential and have no time to treat new patients, this means that you are stretching yourself too much and need to build your own team. Remember, you can't do everything on your own beyond a point. You will have to work on team building and work delegation. Third, if stagnation is because your clinic location is such that you cannot get more patients, if this has been happening for a month or two, then you can ignore it. Every practice goes through ups and downs and may have its own share. However, if this is happening for a year or more, then you must focus on marketing. You must think of reaching out to more people and generate new leads. Fourth, if you think your practice is stagnated because there is resistance to increased charges, then you should consider branding and value addition. Now, this can be done in multiple ways. If someone is resisting for your charges, then it may mean that they don't find you that worth, and you can overcome this with branding. And by the way, when I say branding, I don't mean printing visiting cards or giving goodie bags, etc. Branding is much more than that. I can speak on the topic for the whole day, but I have to respect your time. Now lastly, the fifth, if you feel that your growth has come to halt because there are too many dentists around and that's why you should expand or shift to a new location, then I must tell you that you are focusing too much on your neighbors. In such case, you need to work on your mindset. You just need to tell yourself that your neighboring dentists have nothing to do with your growth. Let me prove this. Why are you here watching this video? It's because you are minding your own business and your own growth. You're not here to hold someone's growth, isn't it? So I don't deny that there is no competition, but honestly, most of the time it's we ourselves who put our growth on hold. I feel it's better to put our thoughts, efforts, and energy so that we can become our own better version, isn't it? Now, let's see the considerations before setting up your second practice. Now, starting multiple practices has become a kind of fad in India. But if you just look around you, you will find that more than 90% of dentists who started their second or third practice ended up closing it within the first 5 years. Remember, starting a new practice should be considered only when you have automated your first practice to some extent. Now, when I say automation, I mean that your first practice should run on its own without you being present in the practice. Otherwise, you will end up in frustration. If you really wish to expand your practice, you have to consider multiple things. You have to make some smart moves. If you don't want to waste your time learning from your own mistakes, then I can help you. I can help you to be very clear and sorted about your growth plans. I can tell you what to do and, more importantly, what not to do. You won't believe, but I have invested more than a decade of my life in understanding how to scale up dental practice. In my personalized coaching program Blueprint, I have shared each and every point that any practicing dentist can customize and create their own success blueprint. Just fill in the form below and one of my team members will get in touch with you with the details. Keep growing. See you on the other side.